Hello, and welcome back to Life Lessons with Sheila and a fresh new episode of AITA Tuesday. Am I the Asshole Tuesday? Today we're going off the topic of religion and church, and we'll be focused on the office. Yep, a literal playground for adults who some are still dominating and others are trying to find their place. I have two stories that I'm going to share today, and of course I will share my commentary on them as well. If you enjoyed these kinds of videos, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, after this video, go take a peek around my channel and see if you like what you see. I'd love it if you'd stick around and subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified anytime I go live, share a video, share a short, or lend encouragement on my community tab. Also, share this with a friend or two. Let's hop into today's video. Okay, the first one. AITA for telling my coworker I won't block his wife just because he told me to. This is a crazy one, in my opinion. Am I the asshole for telling my coworker I won't block his wife on social media just because he told me to? So last month, I, female 30, went with my friends, a female 29, 31, and 33, to a movie theater to watch a concert of my favorite artist. I ran into a coworker, male 36, and his wife, early 20s. I thought I got along fine with my coworker, but I wouldn't go as far to call him my friend. I went to say hi to him, and he introduced me to his wife. Let's call her Vivian. Later during the concert, keep in mind that while we have assigned seats in the theater, nobody was sitting. It was in anarchy. I noticed Vivian was alone, so I approached her and asked her about my coworker, and she said he left because he was bored. I kind of felt bad for her, so I told her if she wanted to, she could join our group, and she ended up spending the rest of the concert with us. After the theater, we all went out to have dinner. We bonded with Vivian over our love for the artist, and by the end of the night, we had all ended up adding her in social media. That's the one and only time I have seen her in person, and our interaction on social media is just tagging each other and the rest of the group in news about the artist that we both love. This Sunday, she posted pictures of batches of cookies that she was making. I commented that they looked delicious, and she sent me a PM saying that she actually made a lot, and that she would send some with my coworker if I wanted. I saw nothing wrong with that, so I accepted. Well, my coworker gave me the cookies yesterday, and he said that until Vivian gave him the cookies for me, he didn't know we kept in touch, but he did not like it. So I need to block her now and never speak to her again. This caught me by surprise. While we have never been friends, we've always been polite to each other, and I can't think of a reason why he would want me to block his wife. I don't have a reputation of being problematic or anything like that in the office. I don't keep up with the office gossip. In case he's worried, I'm going to tell her what he's up to. In case he's worried, I'm Miss Steal Your Girl. I'm not a homewrecker. I'm a straight anyway. Anyway, I was too surprised to actually give him a good reply. So I just told him he doesn't get to tell me what to do, and that I'm not going to block someone just because he told me to. That if he has a problem, he can discuss that with his wife. Now I'm second guessing if this was the right thing to do. Maybe I was too harsh, and I could have talked to him about it. Maybe I'm creating unnecessary drama. Am I the asshole? She did come back on an edit. She said, 1, I told my friends in the group that Vivian is not in the group chat, just Facebook and Instagram. And they all agreed that this is a red flag. We are creating a Discord to talk to her. And edit number 2 is, I don't think she blocked me yet. Since she sent me a message asking me what I thought about the cookies. That was interesting. Here's some of the comments. Comment number 1 is, NTA at all. This behavior is weird, and frankly, I wonder if he's already cut her off from friends and family. If he's that reactive about it when she just wanted to deliver cookies to you. If anything, I would try to strengthen your friendship with her. It sounds like she might really need it. Also, depending on how long they've been together, this gets exponentially creepier really fast. I'm 23 and would hesitate to date someone who is 20 to 21 because of the difference in maturity and life stage. I can't imagine how I would feel about it when I'm 30, much less 36. Red flags all over the place with this dude. Comment number 2 is original poster. Please tell me you messaged her right away so abusive coworker doesn't gaslight her. If you didn't message the rest of your crew in group chat and make sure they tell her what's up. Send this post to them. Get it to her. Let her know y'all will help her. Stalk her friends. Stalk her friends and family if you have to. Get her out of there. I'm not so sure I would stalk anyone's family and friends, personally. I've had that done to me, and it's terrible. It's not nice. Comment number 3 was NTA. Interesting. He leaves her at a concert she is clearly very passionate about just because he was bored. He can't even bother to pretend to be interested for a night or support her in her interest. I feel like everyone has touched on the large age gap, so I won't bother beyond, ooh. Not to mention, she's made the cookies, replied, and clearly seems interested in a friendship with you. As someone who was manipulated and triangulated in an abusive situation for 2 years by someone similar, not only are you not the asshole, but she is definitely in danger staying with him. He clearly does not support her individuality, interest, or flourishment, and I would try to keep in contact with her and support her through this, even if you can't outright get involved. I told you guys that was a heavy one. Here are my thoughts, and I don't have very many on it. They pretty much said a lot of things that I would tell this person if she was my friend. I find it to be awkward that the coworker had an issue with his spouse befriending the original poster. And I will never have anyone tell me who I can befriend on social media. I am sure he did not mention it to his wife, as that would make him look like a control freak. I understand lines get fuzzy once you become friends outside the office. You lose a sense of authority in your field once you cross over those lines. Maybe the guy's afraid his wife will vent to her about their marriage. Who knows? And it does get fuzzy when you cross those lines between friendship and coworker. Lots of relationships get brought up. The verdict from Reddit was not the asshole, and my verdict was the same. She was not the asshole. I don't blame her for telling him that he has no right to tell her who to befriend. That's crazy. Here's for number 2. Am I the asshole for telling my coworker to stop using my personal belongings? So I, 28 female, have been working at this small software company for about 3 years now, and I generally love my job. I have great coworkers, and the work environment is generally positive. However, there's always a however. There is this one coworker, let's call her Sarah, 32 female, who has been increasingly crossing boundaries. A bit of background. Sarah joined the company around a year ago, and we were initially friendly. We would have lunch together occasionally and chat about random things. I didn't think much of it, and it seemed like a normal office friendship. However, over time, I noticed that Sarah had started to use my belongings without asking for my permission. For example, she would take my stapler, pens, or even my phone charger without asking. At first, I brushed it off as her just being forgetful and not realizing that these were my personal items. I tried to be understanding and let it not bother me. But then things started to escalate. One day, I brought in a special lunch I had prepared as a treat for myself. It was a dish that my grandmother used to make for me, and it had a lot of sentimental value. I placed it in the fridge with a note clearly stating it was mine. When lunchtime came around, I discovered that Sarah had taken and eaten my lunch. I confronted her, and she apologized, claiming that she thought it was meant for the whole office to share. I didn't buy it, but I let it go to avoid causing a scene. Over the next few months, Sarah's behavior continued to worsen. She began using my personal laptop without asking, even though we all have our own work computers. She would also use my coffee mug with other personal items, despite me having my name on them. I tried to address it politely and asked her to stop, but she would just laugh it off and say she didn't mean any harm. Finally, I reached my breaking point last week. I had bought a new expensive pair of headphones to use at work, and I had left them on my desk overnight. When I arrived the next day, I found Sarah using them at her desk. I was furious and asked her to hand them over immediately. She tried to play it off as a joke, but I had had enough. I told her that it was not funny and she needed to stop using my personal belongings without permission. I said it was disrespectful and a violation of my privacy. The rest of the office heard the commotion and some of my coworkers agreed with me, while others said I was overreacting and should let it go. Sarah hasn't spoken to me since, and the atmosphere has become tense. A few coworkers have even suggested that I owe Sarah an apology for embarrassing her in front of everyone. So, AITA for telling my coworker to stop using my personal belongings? What do you guys think? I want to hear your feedback on these. I have a few comments to share. The first one is NTA, but you need to go to HR. And then that had a comment, 2 comments underneath it. The first one was this all day long, edit NTA. Knew this before reading the post title. Oh, God. And B, yes, HR or boss. If there's no HR, before making sure you CYA, cover your own booty. Document everything, even the tiniest past events. A single complaint will do a little, but a good paper trail of her creating a hostile work environment will eventually break her neck. Good luck. NTA, obviously. Comment number 2 is NTA. The headphones lunch was yours and not hers. While I would argue using a stapler isn't harmful, it just adds to everything else. What is most irritating about her seems to be she tries to just laugh it off and carry on like she hasn't done anything wrong. Don't apologize. Wait for her to do that. And comment number 3 is NTA. You asked her multiple times to stop using your stuff and were perfectly civil when she literally ate your lunch and tried to pretend that she thought it was for the whole office. Funny how it was clearly single serve and she ate it all herself. But she kept essentially stealing from you. If she didn't want to be embarrassed by a scene, maybe she should have listened to your multiple requests to stop using your stuff before you escalated to causing a scene. This didn't happen in a vacuum, and she knows it. Here's my thoughts. I pretty much agree with every single one of these comments, especially the documentation. One thing I learned in teaching preschool is to document until your hand falls off and then learn to write with your toes. You can never over-document a circumstance such as this one. Depending on the company, the original poster may even be in for reimbursement. I get having your own stapler, and even if the company provides one. Making your office space personalized is important. Knowing the things you purchase will be there when you walk in the next day is a peace of mind, until that peace is disturbed. Maybe if she had just laid down the boundary after the first instance, it would not have escalated. The Reddit's verdict was NTA, and my verdict was the same. This just brings back a lot of fond memories of my coworkers. All of them, from every point of where I worked. When I did hair, we had our own utensils. But we would borrow from time to time, especially if someone wasn't there. But we had that mutual respect, and we always returned the items. When I taught retail, we had little lockers that we kept our personal items in if we needed them. But no one touched anything. Everyone left everything alone. Even our food that was in the icebox, nobody touched. That's just weird. And of course, the last place I worked at, it was like a big family. We all got along very well. It was a great environment to work in. So, do you have any office ATI stories? I would love to know. If you would like to, you can email me. I have it down in the box below as you leave this video. And ways that you can support my channel if you'd like to. If you did not know, I am a published author. I do have books on Amazon. I think I have three fictional and two nonfiction books. So 2 of them are great mindset motivating books. But I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.